Welcome, everybody, to Shiftology Live, the art and science of intentional, intuitive, and impactful change. I'm your host, Terry Wilderman, and I'm an intuitive success navigator, a speaker, a trainer, founder of Intuitive Leadership, and the host of Shiftology Live, which offers you interviews of influential entrepreneurs who have shifted their own lives to create the success that they currently have. Some episodes, it's yours truly flying solo, offering insights on topics that guide you in harmonizing the spiritual, personal, and practical sides of business. My personal desire is to guide you in shifting where you are now to where you want to be so you can awaken the possibilities to attract limitless prosperity in your business and life. And my guests help me do that. I'm also very excited to share with you that August 1st, we are launching our new Intuitive Leadership University Student Center that houses our courses, discussion forum, and events. So stay tuned for more information coming up on that. Also, Happy Hour with Terry networking events resumes in September. We put it on pause for a little bit because we have so much going on the back end. So if you go to happyhourwithterry.com, you can register for our fall events. Now, on with the show and our wonderful guest. Today, I am bringing you a wonderful guest who will be sharing tips about leaving your corporate job. Tina Kadish. Is it Kadish or Kadish? I always forget.
Tina Kadish.
Kadish. I've been saying this wrong for how many years, Tina? I am
That's
so
okay. That's
sorry. I
okay.
humbly apologize.
That's okay.
Tina Kadish is an engaging speaker, a life purpose business coach, and author who offers new and aspiring women entrepreneurs the tools and skills needed to create a successful business strategy. She empowers women to transition from their job to joy so they live a life with fulfillment, prosperity, and freedom. And she helps women make their dreams a reality. And as a result, her clients are getting their time back in their life, which is priceless. And indeed, it is. So, Tina, welcome to Shiftology Live. It's thrilled to have you here. It's been a few years since we were able to actually connect down in
Yes.
Florida. That was
Yes.
a lot of fun when we first met. Oh, God, that was what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yes. 3 years ago. It was about 3 years ago. It
So
was.
I'm thrilled to have you on the show. So, Tina, we're talking today about women who are in a corporate job and are looking to shift into entrepreneurship. As you know, entrepreneurship is in my DNA. I absolutely love entrepreneurship. So
Me
I'm
too.
really excited to hear how you influence women in corporate America to make that leap. Can you share a little bit of it with us, please?
Yes. So I thank you so much again for this great opportunity today. I love being here and getting to share with your audience. For me, being a former corporate woman myself, and when I got laid off from the corporate world, I learned that what holds us back a lot of times is that we don't believe in ourselves and we can be successful.
Yeah.
And we really stop dreaming. We don't even believe, at least for me, I didn't believe there was such a thing as I could be, living my dream of being an entrepreneur. Now, I didn't right away discover that I want to be an entrepreneur. Is when I got laid off and I started some research and I learned of a tool that I coach my clients on, but it's about finding our passion. I wasn't living my passion. Now, as a
Ah,
int- I wasn't living my passion. And many of us women, what I've learned is in my research that and I think over 90% of women are unhappy. They're stuck. They're unfulfilled in their corporate careers and they're just living, they're existing. They're not living life. They're just going through the motions every day. And that's a big struggle. And
yeah.
for a lot of women. And I was there. Thank God I got laid off. That was a
Is it
blessing.
Can I focus? May I focus on that for a moment?
Yes.
In my work, doing the stuff that I do, what the phrase that you just said is so important. Thank God I got laid off. It's like the universe had been sending you signals and sending you signals and sending you signals. It was time to go, and yet finally you had to get that huge kick in the tail to do it. Is that what happened with you? Because I know in my world that happens all the time with the clients that I work with.
It did because I was commuting an hour and a half each way to my
Yeah.
job. I survived 9/11. I was supposed to be, I was commuting into New York City. I survived 9/11. I was supposed to be in the Twin Towers that day.
Wow.
And 2 years later, got laid off. So I believed, and I believe that everybody, we all have a purpose. And my purpose was to be laid off because I remember that day like it was yesterday. I said to my boss, a door just closed right now, but a new door is about to open. I just don't know what that door is going to be.
Hmm.
And I had a great attitude about it. I really did. And even
And
though I
that's a
was a
leap of
little,
faith. That's a leap of faith and not knowing what's beyond that door. Some people just can't go there unless they absolutely know what's happening. It's hard to step into that place of trust, is it not?
absolutely, yes, I trusted that I knew I was going to find something. I just didn't know what that was because we tend to want to control the outcome. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a control freak, okay, myself, and
I think
always want
most
to.
entrepreneurs are, though, Tina.
I know. I'm just a control freak, and I wanted to like I want to see the outcome. I want to already see it, and sometimes we can't. We have to trust the process, believe in ourselves. So I think that getting back to your question was really tapping into what is it that you want? What is that you desire? What excites you? I really get into the why with people on what is it that excites you every day? What if you had to envision your life, what would it look like
Hmm.
every day? That's what is so important for me.
So, what is the thing that makes you happy?
What makes me happy is that I have the freedom
Mhm.
to do what I love to do every day. And I create my schedule. I create the life. We all have choices. And
Mhm.
of course we have our habits, we have our disciplines, we need accountability, we need guidance from other people. We can't do it alone.
Right.
But what makes me happy is to surrounding myself with the right people and making an impact for women that can
Mhm.
live their great life, really loving what they do. Even if, for me, entrepreneurship is what I love. I would want other women to be in that space. However, it's not for everybody. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
Right.
And
Right.
so I always say to women, to find the career that you love. Align yourself with the right company, with the right career. Don't just do something because somebody else tells you and you're following other people. It could be your family that you're following or listening to people. Follow your heart and really tap into your heart on what is it that you really want to do.
So, I'd like to walk back a little bit. You're tapping into your heart. Now, you're walking back to the day that you got laid off.
Hmm.
What are the steps that you took to really magnify, to discover and magnify what your passion is that stepped you into entrepreneurship?
All right. So what I did was, so my first reaction, like I said, I gave him, the line that I just used. I was surprised. I was shocked. So I went through the emotions of shocked, surprised, fear. Fear started to set in. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, what do I do now? Oh my God, what do I do now?
Right.
And even though I said to him, the door's gonna open, I was afraid. Fear is a common thing. I didn't know what to do. But what I started to do is I started networking. I started immediately going to meetings, networking. At the time, it was in person. And I joined meetup.com. And the reason why I went into Meetup is I was a fan of the law of attraction. I had watched the movie The Secret, and that message resonated with me. So I started to really surround myself with great books and surrounding myself with
Nice.
like-minded people. So I went to a networking, and this woman introduced me to a tool called the Passion Test.
Yeah.
And it's a tool
Current.
help
It's been
really.
around for a long time. It's a great tool.
It is. And so the messaging resonated with me. And then I said to the woman, I said, this is something I want to share. I want to learn more about. And so I went and got certified. And with the woman that created the tool, Janet Atwood, I went to one of her classes and I got certified, took her program, and I started my business with that one tool. So
Nice.
that's how I discovered myself, that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I wanted to share about freedom.
So that tool help you to discover exactly what?
That I wanted to be an entrepreneur, that I wanted to help women in a corporate career find their passion.
So
Okay.
your ideal client, I want to repeat this again for everybody. Your ideal client is a woman in corporate America that you help to identify what their passion actually is. Is that correct?
Yes. So yes, that is correct.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. I like repeating things back because we always hear something a little bit differently.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
excellent. Now, so you identified your ideal client, you identified a tool that you're using to help them step forward. What's the next step, Tina?
So the next step is that in my journey, what I learned is that as I was helping women find their passion, I would find or discover that number one, they wanted to start a business. Most of the women wanted to start a business. And
How
what
cool is
was
that?
happening? Yeah, it was amazing how most women wanted to start a business, but they didn't know how to. They didn't have any clue. So I would refer them to other business coaches.
Mhm.
So I started to learn, okay, what can I do to become a business coach? What can I do? So I became a business coach myself, and I surrounded myself with a coach. I hired a coach myself because we can't do this alone. We need
Right.
to work with the right coaches. I always say this, working with the right people on what you need.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. And so I continued my business with helping people to find how to start a business.
And you
You
just
know,
said something very powerful, by the way, Tina. You surround yourself with like-minded people and you have your coaches. And it is so important that people realize that having a coach in your world is incredibly important because you don't see very many sports teams without coaches, do you?
exactly. You don't.
Whether it's football, baseball, whatever. And many of those teams have 3, 4, and 5 coaches, and they specialize in different areas. For myself, there have been times I've had 3 coaches at a time because I needed help in specific areas, and these folks were specialized in those areas. So when you surround yourself with those kind of people, success really comes to mind. So congratulations for stepping into that and for sharing that information with our audience because it's important information that they hear that. It is very hard. I've been in business 30 plus years. It is very hard to do a business by yourself without surrounding yourself with knowledgeable people who've been there, done that.
Exactly. Absolutely. I have learned that along the way, as in my career. Yes, I've had coaches, I've let coaches go, they haven't worked out, whatever reason, but finding the right ones. Like there was a time that I wanted to focus just on sales, how to overcome
Mhm.
objections, found a coach for that. So it is very important to find the right coach. I wouldn't have been able to be here today, full-time entrepreneur, had I not surrounded myself with coaches and enrolling in programs and being in masterminds, attending, different conferences to learn different things that you can apply. A keyword, apply once you leave the conferences.
Mhm. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
So, a woman is in corporate America. She's pondering her next step. She's unhappy in the workplace. And a lot of these women are tired and exhausted, and they just know there's something there that is just nudging them. It's that inner guidance that's pushing them, and yet they're too fearful to take the next step. What is your advice to them?
So yes, so because I was there myself, the fear of not believing in myself that I could do it. So again, it's getting back to really tapping into your why. I always say, it begins here. Okay, what is your talk? What is your self talk? Are you critical to yourself? Are you talking positive to yourself? A lot of us, we're critical of ourselves. And
Mhm.
that affects us. I really believe it all begins here. It's our thoughts that we have. So all these thoughts are not helping us. And also the people we're surrounding with are we surrounding ourselves with the naysayers that are not supporting you? They're not lifting you up. So when you have that voice, I call it there's two types of mindset I always talk about, is a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And, when I talk about that, it's what are you saying to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
okay, every day? Are you using powerful words to yourself, or are you just criticizing yourself and knocking yourself down? You're in that fear. You're staying in that fear. You're staying maybe in that pity party.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. Making excuses, because we all do that. I've done it.
Yeah.
We make
Sure.
excuses. We can't do it. We can't do it.
So, what do you say, Tina, to the woman who is the primary bread holder, who's got kids at home, has the bills, has the mortgage, car payments, electric bills, utilities, school payments, on and on and on and on. And she really wants to get out of what she's doing, but she's really barreled down with all the stuff that she's responsible for.
That's an excellent question, because that was me too. Because what I always tell people is this: you don't just quit your job and start a business. It doesn't happen like that overnight, okay? Because it takes time. So what I recommend to anyone is build your business part-time while you're working in a job. So have that vision. Where do you want to go? And working towards it. It takes work. It
Mm-hmm.
takes work. It's not going to happen overnight. So it's really being patient with yourself. It's every day doing something towards your business, aligning yourself with the right people that can help you, support you, hold you accountable, that you will get there. One of the things, like, for that I've been following Jack Canfield. I love his books. I've been to his conferences, and you need to surround yourself with those types of people that can help you. But no, I never recommend anyone leave their jobs
Right.
to start a business. Okay, because one thing I didn't say earlier is that I started my business, working my business part-time, and I went back to a job after a year and a half because of fear. And what happened was I took a job as a recruiter. So I got into talent acquisition. Did that for 11 years, too long, while building my business. Okay. Finally, in 2018, this is another thing I want to share, is I got let go because of voicing an opinion about something. Okay. And I share this because I believe in manifesting. I manifested it. I was working my business every day. I actually had stepped it up, my activity, and taking days off from work to focus on my business as well. And in 2018, finally escaped the corporate world. It'll be 4 years next week
That's
that
interesting phraseology. You escaped the
I
corporate world.
escaped it. I escaped the corporate world. And I got to tell you, it was so freeing that happened. So my point here is, I was working the business part-time while working full-time.
Got it.
So
Now,
that
I'd
answers
like
your
to address
question.
that for a moment. You're working the business part time. Now,
Hmm.
again, you're a mom, you've got kids, you got soccer, you got football, you got hockey, you've got blah, 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 all kinds of stuff. One of the things that I know that a lot of these women want, they literally want given to them, is a system to
Hmm.
run their business. So I'm curious, what systems did you use? It's one thing to work a business, but just because you're working a business doesn't mean it's successful. What systems were you able to implement to assist you while you were working full time to be able to finally step away with a clear conscience when you got laid off?
Well, a system that I used was, okay, first of all, whenever you're juggling everything, managing your time, and really it's being productive, okay, not busy work. So one of my systems was managing my time. A system that I would be is my calendar, and seeing what everything that I did. And it was really, I would like have focus time. Like I would have like an hour to focus on this, and I would really chunk down my time. So a system for me was managing my time, focusing on the right activities instead of focusing on busy work. So I was very
So how did you
intentional.
determine that? How did you determine what was the right activities and what was busy work?
Well, because okay, so what I determined was what was an activity that would bring me, for example, clients? What was an
Yes.
activity that would get me visibility, credibility out there to show up? That was
Mm.
something that I was using. I wasn't just scrolling, let's say, social media, and I was just doing nothing but just wasting time, or I wasn't wasting time watching TV. I was literally surrounding myself with the right things that would bring me being a full-time entrepreneur.
And now there's a difference. I want to share something with you. There's a difference between surrounding ourselves with the right things and taking action with the
Yes,
right things that we surround ourselves with.
yes. And I think I said it a little earlier that you can do everything, but are you taking action? So I
Yes.
literally took action. I literally would get on the phone and call people. I wouldn't just say it. I would learn. I learned how do I talk to people when they're saying no to me on the phone, because you're going to get no's
Yeah.
of people are not going to want to buy from you. They're just, it's that simple. That's something I had to learn because I would take everything personal. So
Mm.
a
A
system
lot of
for
us.
me, yeah, system for me was really shifting my mindset. Okay, Tina, knowing my value. I think everybody has unique gifts and talents, and we all have value, and really knowing what your value is to offer to people.
Mhm.
So the systems that I used was really focusing on the right activities, having a plan. Like I set goals.
Mhm.
What was my goal? And what were the activities that I was going to do to get to them. I'm a, goal setting for me. Okay, I've done workshops on that, and vision board. That's another thing I've done is creating a vision and really visualizing where I see myself. But a system for me was setting goals. I set weekly goals, monthly goals, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly goals, and yearly goals for me.
Excellent.
So that was a system, one of the systems that I've used,
Nice.
and then of course working with someone to help
Mhm.
me.
Very, very nice. So where you are now to where you were when you walked out of that office, what's the time frame, Tina?
So that was in 2018 that that I was in the corporate career as a talent acquisition specialist, and today being an entrepreneur. As a result of that, I was able to write 2 books. I was able to join a nonprofit organization. I was able to, I'm giving back. I was able to spend time with my daughter who passed away in 2020 from cancer. Because I was an entrepreneur and I had the freedom to work on my business, I was able to be with her. And this is when I say time is priceless.
Yes, it is.
It
I
really is.
remember those days. I remember when you were going through that with your daughter, and you were at. I was very impressed. You were absolutely magnificent during that challenging time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It wasn't easy, but I just want to share here with your listeners that we all have life challenges that get on how do we navigate through. And for me, when I lost my daughter, I said, I want to do something with this. And so I wrote a book because it was my way to heal. And I want to share this message to maybe there's other moms out there and dads that have lost a child. And I've been meeting more and more women that have lost. And I'm surrounding myself with help. Where can I help? Where can I give back?
Yeah,
And then joining a nonprofit organization recently with people that are going through cancer right now. So it's my way to give back.
very nice. So it's amazing how the challenges that happen in our lives open up certain journeys for us that are completely unexpected.
Totally unexpected. Yes. We cannot remember I said earlier I was a control freak, right? Well, I learned real quickly when my daughter was diagnosed that this was like, wow, the carpet just was pulled from under me. And I had to
Yeah.
surrender and trust and
So you
believe.
surrendered and trusted in a couple different ways when you left your corporate job because you didn't have a choice, and then
Yep.
with your daughter. So that's twice in a short amount of time.
Yes.
I'm sensing the universe basically gave you the message of surrender to me and just trust and be in there. And knowing you with law of attraction, which is one of the things that we get into.
Hmm.
Also, as we do in the Limitless Prosperity Facebook group, we talk about law of attraction, that kind of stuff. It's trust and believing that everything goes right for you.
Yes. Yes. So I'm excited to, I don't know what's ahead. There's more to do, for sure. And like I said, even though the challenges that we have, but I think there's lessons that we learn from every challenge.
Absolutely, we do. Absolutely. Well, Tina, what is, we have in the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes,
Okay.
what is the number one piece of advice that you would give a woman who really wants to leave her corporate job and step into entrepreneurship?
It's getting back to really create a vision for yourself. Like, what really do you desire? What do you want to bring in? And really paint a picture for yourself of what is it that you want and go after it. Don't make your dream a reality, because life is too short. I say this all the time. Life is too short. If not now, why? Why? What's holding you back? And really, if you have fear, because fear is huge, identify that fear that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm a firm believer in journaling. I've done a lot more journaling. It's not something that I do daily. I must say it's a practice that I want to get into. Meditating, journaling, for me, the power of praying for me, has really helped as well. But
Mm-hmm.
really tapping into what is that you really want to bring in, what is it that really fuels your heart and that you want to do, and
Nice.
believing that you can do it.
Nice. That's nice, nice.
Thank
So
you.
below the video, you see this Tina's free gift, 5-step process to leaving your corporate job. You can download it there. And Tina, I want to thank you so much from my heart and from our audience, Shiftology Live audience, for your insight. And thank you so much for sharing your journeys of walking away from corporate America and the journey with your daughter. Shiftology is all about change. And you basically describe change in a magnificent way. So thank you so very much for being here today. And to the Shiftology Live audience, thank you for being here. Looking forward to sharing more great guests with you in future episodes. To your success, and see you next time.
Bye bye.